Hello everybody and welcome to episode 2 of F1 Manager 22. So today is a continuation of episode 1, and this is right off the back of the Bahrain race. If you haven't seen the first episode, go check it out please. I'll probably leave a link in the description, hopefully if I remember. But in the first race we didn't get a very good finish. We got, what was it, 18th and 20th. Albon got 18, Theo got 20th. I was expecting Theo to do quite bad because he's a new driver, but he's also got that growth potential. Because he's got high growth potential, he's got a times 1.87, which meant that he actually got more XP even though he did worse in the race, which is what we want. We need that XP growth. We need as much as possible from him, so we can push him on and hopefully he can become a good driver. So we lost 63,000 because we didn't get our guarantee, which is unfortunate. We were wanting to finish, I think it was 16 and 17 in the race. To get our guarantee, that would have given us another 250,000. But unfortunately, we didn't get it. But even so, we still got 3.5 million. Which I mean is pretty decent. So that's the sponsor base rate, which is pretty good. So we're still going to get a lot of money from our races, which means we can get a lot more parts coming in. I'm going to focus heavily on building parts. I think I'm probably going to do that quite a bit this episode. I'll probably leave out a lot of me fiddling about with it and seeing what's going on, and I'll just show you what we're going to build. But that's going to be the main focus of today's episode, is making sure we got better car parts coming on.
Take a look at what you can be doing. You should have an...
Yeah, that's fine. So we've got the mail. Let's see what we've got for today. So the post-race debrief. So reactions isn't really high enough yet for this character that we've got, but we can push to get that higher. We get loads of points and stuff in the practice and stuff as well. They level all that stuff up themselves.
Ah, it looks like the engineering team have just finished manufacturing a car part. It's a suspension system, one the team designed earlier. Improving our cars is a constant process. New car parts are...
There we go. So we actually got a new suspension as well, which is what we want to see. It's a nice improvement on the previous one. There's not a huge bonus there. You can see it's just minor parts, but every single little bit helps. Every little bit that you can do will help improve the time. If we had even just another couple of percentage on some of the car parts, we would have probably been able to push it up and beat Vettel with Ocon. I'm going to focus mainly on... Alright, so we've got the warehouse. I'm going to focus mainly on Ocon's upgrades, because he is the better driver, so I want him to have the better parts. So, go wait. Fucking hell. So as you can see, this is our current part, and this is our new part. So it gives us slightly better medium speed. It gives us better top speed. Very slightly. As you can see, there's not a lot of differences in between each part, but it upgrades the parts that we need for the next race. So the crucial ones are green and the recommended is blue. So it actually upgrades, what, 3 crucial and 1 blue for the next race, as well as the low speed corners as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to install that on car 2.
Great work. If you don't want the team to manufacture,
that there is now what we are going to do. So we're going to go to manufacture, and we're actually going to get another one. So I don't know when our next race is, but we've got a lot of money. We've got 21 million currently sitting in the bank, which is good. We're just going to have one engineer. Actually, we don't even need an engineer on it, which is good. But we can rush emergency. We can get it today. So that's actually really good. So that costs us an extra 200,000, but it means we can get it today. So I'm not going to do that now because the next race isn't going to be for at least... It's 4 days, so we're not even going to have this part. I might have to do rushed then. It's going to cost us an extra 25k. It's only 25k though. If we can get that part on before the next race, that's definitely going to help. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that. We're going to confirm, and we're going to try and get that done for the next race. So we've got a new chassis development going on. It'll be done in 34 days. I could bring it down to 27, but I want to try and get as many parts getting worked on at each time. So we've got 3 available engineers after this one, so that means we get another 3 parts going on. Now we can rush it, and it's going to cost a little bit more, but I'd rather not, because we do have a spending cap for the season and I want to keep being able to make new parts. I might go for rushed, just so it's done in the 23 days. Now this is just the design that we're doing, which means then we should get one of the parts and then we should be able to like manufacture them afterwards as well and get enough of them. So we're probably just going to go, we'll go for rushed. It's going to cost a little bit extra, but I'd rather go for rushed to get it done, and then we'll confirm that. So that's all we can do actually. There's no design or research slots available, which is not ideal, but it will just have to do. We've got enough of these parts already sitting there. So we've got 4 days, 18 days, 32 days. So those that part I just put there, the chassis should be on before the, what's it, Amelia? I don't know how to say that, but that Grand Prix right there. It'll be on before that one, which is what we want. The following one, I think it was the underfloor that we did. If we have a look at that, I think that will be on a little bit further. Current projects. Yeah, so we've got 3 coming. This will be on before the next race, hopefully. This one is the underfloor. That'll be done in 57 days, and that'll be done in 23 days. So it's going to be a bit all over the place. I was actually hoping that we could have a bit more parts being worked at the same time. I didn't realize you could only do 3. But it'll just have to do. So if we go to, is it circuits? Yes, circuits. So these are all the different circuits we've got going on. I think we'll have the underfloor done by Monaco, and we should have the chassis done before Emilia. I don't know, it's Imola. There you go. Fucking honestly. But anyway, so we should have that done before that Grand Prix, which means the next 2 we're not going to have any new parts going on. We do have that new suspension, which went on Albon because he is our better driver. Theo just needs to keep working at it, and hopefully we can get some development points soon. Experience the next development point is only 815, we've got 900, so hopefully he should get a development point in the next race, which is what we need. His morale's okay, he's all fine, we're good, we're sorted. So we're just going to continue now to the next race weekend. There we go, so we've got the better suspension now. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to create another one. And I feel like maybe just 2, because we're not going to focus on suspension because we've already got new parts. So I'm going to craft 2 more of these. We've got 2 more of these on the way. They're going to be backup parts just in case, because you never know. You never know, something might break, and we don't want that happening. So we're going to review our targets now for the next race, and they want us to reach Q2. Now obviously that is going to be a massive struggle. Q3... yeah, no, we're not going to hit any of this at all. It's not going to happen. It's just not happening. Q2 is our best possible thing that we can aim for. We're getting Q1 at the minute. If we can get Q2, I'll be happy to get that extra money. Fastest lap. They want us to hit the fastest lap for the race. That's probably not going to happen either. Finish position. It's going to cost us 25k, but we can get an extra 100k. I feel like that might be worth it. We can do that. We can actually up it to get both drivers. I don't think both drivers are going to get it. I think maybe one at most. So we're going to put that in there because we're only losing 25k, and if we can get it, that's an extra 100 in the bank. We're not going to get fastest lap. That's not happening. We already know this. Now this one is not going to happen either. This one's down to 850,000 because we need to try and get 4 hot streaks. Which means we need to get at least 15th in 4 races, which is just not going to happen, and that's not going to happen either. There's no even point in that one. But that's what we're going to go in with, and we're going to hope that we can maybe push on, but we'll wait and see.
Formula One is back. Welcome to one of the fastest circuits on the calendar here at Jeddah. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is about to kick off, and the atmosphere here is electric. The Jeddah Street Circuit has one of the fastest average speeds, as well as the most corners of any track on the calendar. Good high-speed downforce is going to make life in the fast lane a little easier for drivers here this weekend. At this early stage in the season, there are still plenty of opportunities for things to change. In this sport, there simply are no guarantees. The competition is on.
Right, so this is now on to the next race weekend. We're just going to continue here, and we are going to, for practice 1, we're actually going to put the other driver in just to keep him happy. That's going to be the main thing. We're not going to really care too much about him. The main point of him going in practice 1, he can only do P1. That's it. He can only do P1. But we'll get Albon back in for P2 and 3 just so he can get the track optimization and also car parts knowledge. But they're sitting at 53% right now, which is pretty good. So we shouldn't need to worry too much about that. The setup confidence is the thing we need to focus on as well. But I just want to get him some experience, get him some racing to keep his morale up. Hope for the best. So for the first one, we're just going to do this. And we're just gonna simulate these sessions because I don't want to have to sit through these. The main fun is the qualifying and the race itself. So we're just gonna simulate this session and continue. So P1 is now complete. And we're gonna be near the bottom again. Yeah, 1920. Aitken was worse than Theo this time though. But it's because he is the worst driver out of the two. So that's fine. So driver development, he got 500, which is pretty good. Performance bonus, again, Theo got a decent wee bonus. He got 1 point in each thing, which is what we need. We need him to keep pushing, so eventually he can become a decent driver. Right now he's bottom of the grid. That's expected for a 71 rated, but I mean he's only 2 ratings less than Latifi. That was my whole thing with it. So it should be fine. For the next practice though, we're going to put in Albon. He's back in for this, and he's going to do the next 2. Now he already has a performance bonus from these somehow. I don't really know how, but he does. Setup confidence. There we go. So every single part is now a bit more all over the place. It's a little bit more spread out because it was all bad before, but if we can get a couple of good ones, that will be good. And then we're going to go into practice 2, and we're just going to simulate the session. I want to try and get the best setup for the cars possible for each track when we go into them. Let's see, how did our boys do? 18th and 20th, that's a little bit better. We got 18th finish there. Of course, it's just practice, so it doesn't really matter, but if we can get that little bit more, that's better. And again, we got some more points for Theo as well, and Albon got a little bit more as well. Controls up to 90 now, that's really good. And then obviously braking, reactions, cornering, and accuracy all went up as well. Control, actually, cornering, braking, reactions, they've all went up as well. So that's good. That's what we want to see. We want to see nice continuous development between them. If we get some development points as well, that'd be good.
The next day of our highly anticipated race weekend, which sees the end of practice and the start of qualifying. Yesterday's action gave us a fantastic taste of what is to come.
We only did one
and the
practice,
anticipation within the paddock.
Right, so we've got this now. So as you can see, the oversteer is still in great. Optimal is now a little bit further up, so then we can try and get a great on that as well, hopefully. And then the other 3 are all now in the section a little bit further away from where they were, so hopefully we can get at least an okay from each one of these sections. Right, okay, so we're back. So we've got Optimal's a little bit off, but I'm finding it hard to get that in a good position. Actually, if we leave it there. We've got Optimal and Great for the bottom 2. Bad, both bads are now further enough away that hopefully we'll get decent thing, and then the Oversteer is good. Hopefully we can get that to either Great or Optimal. That's the hope. So we're now going to go on to practice 3. We're just going to simulate the session again. And we're going to hope for the best here. And let's see how they did. 17 and 19, so they have a better setup. Now we're ahead of the Aston Martins. And of course, points don't matter for anybody below. Well, no, they don't matter. They don't get points for below 10th. But it's all down to finishing position. So if we get 17 and 19 in the race and Aston Martin get 18 and 20, then we're back on level terms. And if we can get 17, 19 and they're 18, 20 again, the following race will then jump ahead of them. It's all about race finishes. So that setup seems to be a little bit better than what they were. Confidence, there you go, 82% and 86. That's a lot better than last race when we were down at 60s. So that's a lot better. The car parts knowledge is up to 95%, which is what we want. Track acclimatization, of course, he's fallen behind a little bit on acclimatization, but that's because we got the reserve driver to do P1. But that's fine. It shouldn't be too bad. We should be fine. And of course, we got the nice wee bonuses again on both of our drivers. We've got some nice big bonuses there. Reactions has went up. That's what we need to go up. And on this side, we've got controls went up to 91 now. Very good. We're now going to go on to qualifying and see how they can do. So, of course, we can't do the reserve driver, but these are the two drivers we're using. Confidence set up, everything should be okay. Now we're going to manage to qualify again like the last time because it was actually quite fun.
Radio check.
Now we're going to send both drivers out. Now I know that a lot of drivers in real life they wait till near the end so they've got a bit more grip, there's more rubber on the track, but I want to get them out as early as possible because we need to try and set the best lap possible, get as many laps in as we possibly can. That is the aim. I don't really like this look though for the camera. It's not ideal. I wish you could like have a bit more of an overview on it, but it would just have to do. And I mean, for now, that'll just have to do. We're going to go ahead and just skip through some of this. There we are, so that's our first laps in, and of course we're now sitting down at the back. We are going to go ahead and reconfigure. And we're going to have a wee look to see what we've got. So the tires here seem to be linked to the tires for the actual race. I noticed that. So I'm going to just keep the same tires on and hope that we can get a good lap time in. Because if we use these, it then carries on to the next race where we've got to use the softs as well. And it means then we've got less tire wear and I don't feel like it's worth it. I want to keep these two for the drivers in the actual race. That's the hope. But we're going to just leave the same tires on. We're going to confirm. And then we're going to send them out. We're going to reconfigure again. I'm actually going to have a look at the car setup just to see how it looks. Okay, so we actually got great, 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 good and great. So that's actually really, really good. I'm happy with that. So we're going to send him out again. Send him out. I'm going to wait a few seconds, let him get a little bit ahead start, and I'm going to send him out. And again, going to sim through this. Basically, all the top drivers haven't went yet, so when they go, we're going to get knocked down into the bottom part. As you can see, they're already starting to come down. So if we can get some decent laps in, that's what we need to try and do. Again, reconfigure. I don't want to use other tires though, that's the issue. But it would help significantly on our lap time. I'll do one lap on these ones, I think. I need to do it. It's the only way we're going to get any sort of time on this. Send them out. Send them out. They should hopefully get one more lap in and hopefully we can get a decent time. We need to push this car. Push the car. Come on. Everybody's out for the last lap of the race. Let's see. Try and get at least 15th here. Come on. Come on. I don't think we got it. No. We got 16 and 17. 17, 18. We just got beat there. Come on, Albon, you're the last hope here. You've not finished yet. And he's finished. There we go. We got 18, 19. That's what we got. Not ideal. 19, 20. We got knocked down at the very last minutes. Holy crap. Okay. How far are we off? Not far at all. So, to Stroll, it was very, very close. To Vettel, bit of a gap there, and then Gasly and Norris. I'm surprised McLaren are doing so bad this season. But we've got a bit of a gap between everybody. We need to try and upgrade the car and keep pushing it as much as possible. That is what we've got to do here.
It's
So
time for the final
this first season,
touches
I'm not
here on the
expecting
grid,
too much. It'll
ahead
be
of
near the end of the
today's
season. I'm
race.
hoping we can push up a
Williams
bit.
had a good performance in qualifying. Now
We had a good performance in qualifying apparently, but we did not. We came dead last. So we're going to continue now, and we're going to look at the race strategies now. So they are recommending a medium onto a hard. I mean, 50 laps. That's the faster of the three, it seems. Actually, no, that's the fastest. I feel like maybe getting him hard onto medium and then get Albon the other way around, medium onto hard. So we'll do that. And we're going to get Albon on medium to hard. See, I thought we were going to use soft tires, but we aren't even using the soft tires, so that's fine. We've got more than enough sets of these tires. We've not used them. So here's hoping. Medium onto hard, and then hard onto medium for Theo. And hopefully that'll spread them out a bit, get a little bit more points on the board. I'd be happy even with a 15th position
It's a very
out with the points.
overcast night in store for the drivers who are now lined up on the grid. Here's Williams. With their starting position in the back 10, they'll have their work cut out for them. And then we've got Alex Albon. Slower than most yesterday, so today they'll be starting from the bottom half of the grid. Everything's been building to this. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go.
And we're underway for, I don't even remember which one this is. We're both starting at the back right here. They're both currently fighting for 19th spot. You know, honestly. I'm hoping that we can get at least 15th. That is the aim right now. We're a bit behind. As you can see, we're already 6 seconds behind first place. But hopefully not for too long. Hopefully we can push up a little bit. Hopefully we can get at least 15th. I'm wanting that mid-table finish right there.
A firm on DRS.
And a new position.
And that was a nice
just
overtake
gained
there.
by
Oh, and then we
Williams.
lost it immediately. Nice. This is going to be a tough race. Albon's dropped to
Aston
left
Martin
there.
with a great play there. They've moved up a place.
Theo has just went up to 18th, which is good.
Someone spun out. Haas with an overtake there. Did somebody spin out there? That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
So we're already struggling. We're 2.5 seconds behind 18th place. It's not ideal, but I mean it's expected with the car that we've got. So we're just going to need to keep pushing.
box this lap. Okay, box, box.
That's our first driver now in the pits.
I think there's been a lock-up.
Box, box.
And there's an overtake from Williams. Looks like Aston Martin have just gained a race position. Looks like there's been a lock-up.
Full deploy.
Yep, sure.
Make sure you give some energy.
Let's close this gap. Yes.
Okay, there's a big crash.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner.
Right, well, not exactly ideal. 18-19, the only reason we did that is because there was a whole crash and stuff. We managed to get ahead of Stroll at least, which is better, but it's not ideal. I mean, we finished not far behind Vettel, as you can see. Theo was 0.04 seconds behind, but it would have been so much nicer if we could have got a little bit higher up. Like I said though, I'm expecting us to finish really low. There's not much we can do otherwise, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get some more progress through the
This
season.
was a mixed performance from Williams today. Some excellent decisions and then some strategies that will need a bit of work.
Yep, plenty for them to think about and strategize, and certainly a good enough result for now.
Now that all the points have been tallied, the team is in 10th place in the constructor standings.
And for the
Still
next
sitting
round,
10th.
Formula One is heading down under.
But we're not too
Saudi
bad.
joins ahead in
I mean,
Australia
they got
on the
17 and
shores of
20.
the Albert
We got
Parkway.
18 and 19. It could have been worse because it was looking worse. But I mean, what can we do? Red Bull again taking the win. McLaren very mixed. Alpine doing really well. AlphaTauri got a decent finish there as well in 8th. Mercedes sitting 5th and 6th. Red Bull 3rd and 4th, and Ferrari getting the 1-2 finish again. Look at them go. On the driver standings, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz sitting 1st and 2nd, with Perez in 3rd, only just ahead of his teammate Max Verstappen. Hamilton's now in 5th, with Bottas is sitting in 6th, with in from Alfa Romero. That's a really good finish from him so far. We've got George Russell sitting in 7th, Pierre Gasly 8th, Fernando Alonso 9th, and Sebastian Ocon is sitting 10th with 3 points. Everybody below is currently sitting on 0 points. We are currently 18th and 19th though, with Stroll falling below Theo because of that finish there. So it's not too bad. If we can somehow push ahead of Sebastian Vettel as well, we should be pretty dandy actually. If we look at the constructors now, we've now got the Ferrari sitting on 1st, Red Bull 2nd, Mercedes 3rd, Alfa Romeo 4th, Alpine 5th, AlphaTauri 6th. McLaren sitting in 7th with the 0 points, which is quite surprising to me. I thought they would have been at least 4th, maybe 5th, but they've actually fallen off a little bit, which is kind of surprising this season. Haas is dropped position to McLaren based on where they finished. Aston Martin is currently sitting in 9th with us in 10th. We're just behind them though, so it's not too bad. Right, so in the constructors we're currently 10th, but we're not far behind Aston Martin. It's going to be maybe 1 point at most, so if we can get a decent finish next race we should be fine. I feel like 15th is pushing it too much because these drivers are a lot better than us. I mean, on rating wise not much. Albon is better than 15 and 16, but we need that push. That's what we need. We need to upgrade the car as much as possible. We've got one of the worst cars in the whole league, so if we can push we should be alright. We got a lot of XP. We got 1 development point there for him. And we got some XP as well for our reserve. I'm mainly just doing that just to get him a little bit more something out of it. I mean, he's got average growth potential. His growth potential is average as well. They're not exactly great, but we need Theo to push as much as we possibly can. That's what we need. So hopefully in the next couple of seasons when we need those point finishes, he will be a high enough rating to be able to get it. Our bonus clause is finished 10th or higher, which of course we didn't get for either one of them, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Now before we continue, our season objective we're not getting, of course, but I mean, it's hard when we've got the team that we've got. So post-race, he was decent enough. His defending needs a boost, but that's fine. And that's all that. So if we now go to our drivers, we can actually increase the development of a certain area. Now it highlighted before that it was reactions that he was needing most, and of course that's his lowest stat. He's at 54, so I'm going to focus on this area, and there we go. He's now improved significantly, so he's now a 72. How much does that give him? It was a 54. He's only went up to 55, so it only gave him 1 point, but it gave him that 1 point was enough to get him up to a 72. So he's already not far behind where Latifi was, because I think he was a 73. So he's already almost on par with Latifi. Plus he's got some good stats. He's got good smoothness, he's got good braking, good cornering, he's got decent control in defending. It's just the other stats we really need to get up now. So I'm going to focus mainly on upgrading his reactions, I think, to begin with, just to get that little boost. Right, so we're going to actually scout this guy here. He's an F2 driver. He's in car 1. I want to see if I can maybe bring him in as a reserve driver, and then just get him to progress as well, and hopefully we can get someone in these positions. Now we've only got 2 scouts, so I'm only going to be able to scout 2. I was looking at by age, see who we can get. So of course we've got him. He's only 18, 72 rated, very, very good. But I'm wanting to look for someone who's just a little bit off, because we could bring him in, but it's not really worth bringing someone in so high rated because they're going to want a seat. But if I can bring someone in who is young, 18 years old, like him, can I even offer him a contract? He can't race. I really need to check that first. I need to make sure that I can actually hire them. That's the main issue. We've got 19, again him, he can get a contract, that's fine. So I'm going to get a standard scout on him, no, I'll get a detailed one on him, because it's only going to be for a reserve driver, but if I can get him up, he's 69 rated, we can try and get him in on a decent contract. Get him, he's in car 2 as well, so we can get him into reserve in F1, hopefully we'll be happy with that, just hopefully. But we'll wait and see how that pans out. So we're looking to replace Jack Aitken, because I mean he's 26 years old. He's not got very good development, but if we can get someone who has got decent development, we should be okay and dandy. I'm not sure. Yeah, his potential isn't available yet, but once we've scouted him, we'll be able to see, and we'll get that within the next couple of races as well. But that is it, I think, for this episode of F1 Manager. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like below, subscribe, and also leave a comment if you want me to get a specific driver or something into the team. I'm looking at the drivers myself, but I've not looked into them at all. I'm just sort of scouting and hoping for the best. But if you know any drivers that I should take, let me know and I'll have a look at them, see if we can try and get them into the team as well. Alright? Thank you very much, everybody, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.
We got Nomad as well.
I just shot him. There's another one. Oh my god, shot him!